Hey guys, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. So for this video, I'm going to show you guys how to farm level 40 Pegasus using Unholy Guard, or Holy Guard, excuse me, and the Unhappy Girl. And hope you guys enjoy this. Subscribe if you're new for more content. And I already know you're wondering about replacement options. We're going to talk about the way that the deck works. Feel free to skip ahead to the gameplay if you already kind of get the gist of it. It's the normal Unhappy Girl engine. Basically, that's a stall. You can run Guardian statues. You can do a lot of different things. You can use clown statue decks, and this is just one that I like to run. So if you're wondering about replacement options, you don't necessarily need the Thunder Dragons in here. I like them for their ability to speed up the deck a little bit. You really, truly, and honestly can drop them for anything else that allows you to draw into other cards. I tend to like to have a tribute monster in the deck to get that tribute requirement, and then on top of that, the fusion. So if I go ahead and drop 2 Thunder Dragons, you can add, like I said, Shards of Greeds, Jar of Greeds, what have you, if you want to do that, but that's perfectly fine. Aside from that, Death Kangaroo can be swapped out for any fusion substitute monster, like King of the Swamps or Beast King of the Swamps or whatever. Versago the Destroyer, I believe, is the name of another one. You can swap out that as long as you have Big Koala, or you could swap out Big Koala and keep Death Kangaroo if you don't have Big Koala. In order to get this, you can swap out one of them for the fusion substitute. So on top of that, you will need Gravekeeper's Vassal, but if you don't have him, you can do it a little bit differently. Swap him for Piranha Army, and if you do that, drop the Union attacks for Gift of the Martyr, the spell card, and basically you get into the exact same endgame combo. All the traps are here to destroy either Toon World, you can run Wild Tornado, you can run Twister, you can run Cosmic Cyclone here, you can do a lot of different things, just destroy Toon World however you see fit. You can run 3 Spell Purification. I have it here as a concept, you don't necessarily need it. I will actually add a 3rd Wild Tornado. The cool thing about this card is that it allows you to destroy stuff, so I believe it also lets you set cards. Yes, it does. So that's cool. Anyways, defensive options in case you don't draw into what you need. You can also run Raimei in the deck. You can drop these for Raimei. Raimei is a cool option. You ram it into the opponent's monster, and then you can fish out Unhappy Girl if you don't have Unhappy Girl, and then get into the combo that way. It's just more or less be careful, because if you run the deck a certain way, you may not get your over 99999 or whatever, 4 nines bonus. Because if you just have Unhappy Girl and the Master of Oz out there, this guy's not going to get enough attack. He's going to be like 100 attack short. So you got to make sure you play it a certain way. So my end game is supposed to be Tribute for this guy into Fusion, and then also play him, and then Union attack. So one thing to consider is the fact that this guy, Pegasus, has that Mammoth monster. So if you let him play that Mammoth monster, your monsters cannot attack on the turn that they are played, so keep that in mind. That guy's going to lock down your whole monster board, so if you just play a little bit carefully around the Mammoth, it's not the biggest of deals. Or you can run Storm and Wild Tornado combos. You can do things like that. There's a lot of options in here. I like Pot of Benevolence because of the fact that Pegasus starts to thin his deck a bit with Toon Table of Contents. But in fact, I'm going to go ahead and swap it for Storm because I like the way that sounded. Just 1 copy. It should work perfectly fine with the Wild Tornado. Just destroy his Mammoths. But again, actually, in fact, I'm going to stop that because what happens is Pegasus also has Michizur. So since he has that, he's able to get around your monsters and just destroy them when you destroy his. So we'll be right back in just a minute with the actual gameplay. So I went ahead and revised the deck really quickly because I wanted to make sure that it didn't get in a position where it wasn't able to consistently perform for you guys. So keep that in mind too. You don't have to run Raimei, but I do like to run Raimei because it's able to crash into the opponent and then fish out Unhappy Girl to get into that combo. But literally, it's probably a little bit easier if you actually, instead of Raimei, run Guardian Statue, which you can get from the card trader. Guardian Statue allows you to take advantage of the fact that Pegasus's monsters cannot attack on the turn that they are played, because Guardian Statue will basically flip face up, and then you could just stall from there. So keep that in mind. The only problem with that is that sometimes, very rarely, Pegasus will get into overplaying. He'll play a Toon monster and then tribute it for the Big Tusk Mammoth or things like that, and then he'll be able to attack some way, somehow. So keep that in mind. But again, I wanted to make sure that if you start turn 1, you don't have the monster, Raimei will fix it for you, and then you're playing a little bit uphill, but Unhappy Girl does show up. I also added that Typhoon in there instead of one of the Wild Tornadoes because I realized that I had a Prismatic one, and it actually is able to destroy Toon World as well. There are a lot of cards in the game that can do that. So let's go ahead and get this going. again, I just literally drew into like the worst possible hand, though. Literally drew into the worst possible hand. Toon Table of Contents, that's fine. If he pops out a Toon World, I'm going to pop it. I'll wait for him to play his monsters, though, but I will destroy Toon World. That's fine. He's going to pop out Summon Skull. He can't attack. I'll actually wait a little bit. But you see what I mean? Pegasus can get into a position where he starts overplaying. Still no Raime. This is incredible. But, okay, I'll let him have it. I will let him have it. Play another monster, please. No? All right, fine. Well, they're going to get destroyed. He paid 500 for that. So, bye, Toon World. And sometimes he will have Michizuru, so be careful. Wow, I literally have to stall. But that's why these cards are in the deck. That's why they're here. In case you have to stall. There goes a Raime. Okay, I'm not going to play it in attack mode because you don't want to go direct. You want to make sure that you don't attack his life points directly at any point unless it's the end of the game. And then at that point you can go. So one of these moments he's going to try to go offensive. All right, Unhappy Girl, so it doesn't even matter. Fine. Let's go ahead and crash into Toon Mask Sorcerer. That's fine. It's actually great if he never attacks this Raime, but I expect him to right here with the Mammoth. In all seriousness, I could stop this, though, but I think he runs 2 Mammoths, so I don't really want to do that. It's not the worst thing, but the problem with playing double Raime is that with the way that my deck is currently constructed, in order to get the bonus for over 10,000 damage or whatever with the Gravekeeper's Vassal, you have to do double Union attack, right? But also, you know, Unhappy Girl and the Koala, or the Master of Oz, excuse me, along with the other guy, what's his name? That doesn't work. Unhappy Girl, Vassal, and Master of Oz, excuse me. That combo is like 100 attack points short, so it will not work. So, gotta be careful, but for now, honestly, it doesn't really matter. This thing is really annoying, though, because it stops your monsters from being able to attack on the turn they are played. What you really want is you want to either destroy it or you want Pegasus to tribute it. He has, like, 1 copy of Copycat, and if you overplay a little bit too early, Copycat can be a really big problem, so keep that in mind. Again, he does own Michizuru as well in his deck, but for here, I'm going to go completely offensive. I really don't recommend doing this, but I want to get rid of that Mammoth. And this is about the only way right now that I can. In fact, that was a complete misplay because he's going to just turn around and attack the Mammoth if he tributes it. But Raime can't do anything about that guy. In fact, actually, I don't think they can change position, so that's not a misplay. There we go. Yeah, they can't change position. So, all right, we played around it. It's been a while since I played with some of these cards, so forgive me if I say anything wonky like that, right? But overall, though, in all seriousness, it should work for most of you guys just about every single time you try it. Don't need to trigger a pot yet, but I will set it. Pot's only here for when Pegasus gets in a position and he's basically playing uphill. He has no monsters or anything left because he's went ahead and fished out all his cards with the table of contents. And it's very important, if you can, to lock down a lot of his monsters like that. Because, like I said, there could be a situation where he activates something like a Michizuru, and it's a problem. From here, I'm going to activate Pot of Benevolence. I will not give him back his Mammoth, but I will give him back his Toon World and his... I don't mind him playing Toon World, because basically with this deck, you're not going to get the... I should actually give him Summon Skull. You're basically not going to get the low life points bonus, because you're never really going to take damage. You're also not going to get the other bonus for comeback victory. You're not going to get those, but you should still get at least 7k. And at this point, I have too many cards in my hand because, yeah, that's a thing. I really need to tribute both of those Unhappy Girls, but I'm not going to because I don't want him to try to go direct. It's way too early for that, so I will set this just to get it out of my hand. Oh, another Unhappy Girl. Huh. What can I do? Really, I don't need it. And honestly, it's not the worst thing if I discard stuff because I have a pot for myself anyway if I need to. I just need this guy to play stuff, and he's not really doing it. Don't need Curse of Anubis. So I'll just discard Curse of Anubis. Again, it's not the worst thing because I have cards in my hand, and I'm trying to protect Raime for the endgame combo. Unless I did the math wrong, you can't have Vassal and then go from there with that. So I need Typhoon here. There we go, Typhoon. I can activate it. I'm going to go ahead and set that, and I will destroy Toon World. That'll destroy both of his monsters, and then I'm in the clear. There we go. And again, keep in mind, sometimes he will have that stupid Michizuri, so use at your own discretion, but it shouldn't matter right here. He didn't have it, so it doesn't really matter. One card left in my deck. That means that next turn is the end turn. No copycats left. Gonna go ahead and activate or summon this because I don't need them to lock anything. I will since I did that, I'm gonna go ahead and poly to scare him off. He's not going to go offensive because he's way too low on life points. He won't try to ram into Raime because there's no way he can win. And next turn, I will go into my combo for the end game. Toon World, that's fine. That's not a problem at all, Pegasus. That's not a problem, buddy. All right, we got it, guys. We got it. So going to activate. I almost did Pot of Benevolence. Could, though, get a little bit extra glossy. In fact, I will, actually, because I think that's a glossy card. So you need Secret Pass, and then you get into Union Attack. And Union Attack takes the attack from the other two, gives it to this one. And, again, you want to make sure that you do it when your deck is depleted. I repeat, when your deck is depleted. You get more bonus for that. All right, so I will activate Pot of Benevolence here. I'm going to give him back anything. It doesn't really matter. Just don't give yourself back stuff, so your deck stays empty. And normally, again, you would want to be the one at 500 life points, but, you know, Pegasus got himself there, and there's nothing you really can do about it. So we go over. Yeah, it wouldn't have been enough if I had Unhappy Girl instead of Raime. So there we go. So that's why Guardian Statue could be good, too, because you don't have to do the whole Tribute and then Protect thing. The Guardian Statue is actually strong enough. That extra 400 from Raime, over Unhappy Girl, excuse me, would have been enough. So Guardian Statue instead of Raime is perfectly fine. In fact, I would implore you guys to do that. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe if you're new for more content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys.